I want to hit the chips because we discussed at length yesterday. Josh, we had Jonathan Krinsky on, who made the point that, with his new note, no time to buy, that these were in some ominous, technical territories, the SMH and the SOX and the like, and that if it broke down further, that could be the thing that broke the S&P and caused it to go down further. Now I wonder, did Taiwan Semi just save the day? Because they post their record quarterly profit. Their outlook was strong as well. And it could not have, Josh, come at a better time for this space. And you could make the argument for the overall market.
Okay. So I agree. I agree with that premise.
Okay. That's all you've got?
Well, you didn't ask me a question.
Well, I sort of led into you for the obvious way to come off of that. So I needed to make it more.
I didn't see. All right, my bad. I wasn't on yesterday. My bad. I didn't see Krinsky's segment yesterday, so I'm not 100% sure of what he was saying. But my guess is that he's talking about a much different time frame than most of the people who are invested in the semis. There probably was an area where a technical breakdown looked imminent. But that's the thing with technical analysis, right? Yesterday's lines on the charts are not the same as today's. And a lot of times you have to change your narrative based on price action. It's not easy to do. So if that's what he was saying, then he could have been right. And maybe today he's reversing himself. I don't really know.
I'm talking about it. In other words, if you look at the action in the semis of late, the SMH over 1 month.
TSM's important.
What's that?
Yeah, Scott, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with your premise because
I haven't asked you the question yet. You needed in a form of a question. I'm going to ask you a question. Just bear with me. I promise. We tried this once. It didn't work. All right. The SMH is down 6% in 1 month. Taiwan Semi was down 9%.
Yeah.
Qualcomm was down 9.5%. NXP, which a lot of people on this show love, was down 10.5%. I mean, at some point, you had to get a little worried, Josh, didn't you? Question. About where the semis were heading.
So I guess I don't have a ton of direct exposure there. And the semi exposure I have was acting much better than some of the names that you cited.
NVIDIA wasn't down as much.
Yeah, so, I mean, Guy, you know where the stock started the year? It was like 140. It's 216. I can tolerate some. It doesn't have to make a new high every single day. But the big picture, Scott, is I think we have replaced transports and industrials with semiconductors as our primary stock market-based gauge for what people in the markets believe to be the global economic situation. These are the new transports. I've been saying that for probably 3 or 4 years now. So, yeah, you don't want to see this group break down. I would argue it's more meaningful than steel stocks, quite frankly, or copper stocks. But the good news, if we got a kick save from Taiwan, and Taiwan Semi obviously is important because their tentacles are in pretty much every process and procedure having to do with semis, then yes, to answer your question, I think that is notable. And maybe the timing was ideal from a technical perspective. You could be exactly right about that.
Okay. All right. We're making progress.